Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing the third set of KT Rolster vs. Samsung Gone, and hopefully this game will bring me much more happiness than the last game after seeing my poor dear Jangbi just go down to violet. I'm hoping that I can at least have some joy out of watching Firebat Hero lose. There he is right now, the FBH. I really don't like Firebat Hero at all. I don't know how many games of his I've casted before. I think it's been a while since I've casted a game of his, since he's had a really significant game. But I'm sure that in the past I have railed against him, and I will do so over and over again every time I get a chance. I hate him. He's so disrespectful in my opinion, and just annoys the crap out of me. So I'm hoping that he just gets absolutely obliterated today by Flash on Glaive. I hope Flash just takes hold of him with his robotic arms and like twists him into many little pieces, and maybe even does a little dance right back at him and puts him in his place. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Firebat here just gets embarrassed here and just gets rickrolled. That'd be great. Yeah, so yeah, Flash is a beast and Firebat Hero is most certainly not. I did notice something interesting about Flash though. Looking at his record, he has a record of 208 wins and 97 losses, so I'm thinking that he probably has the most wins of anyone without 100 losses. I know it's kind of an obscure and, you know, doesn't really mean too much in terms of as a stat, but it's kind of cool. So here we go. We're going to get started here. It's going to be Firebat Hero in yellow at the 12 o'clock position and Flash at the bottom left in brown. Moonglaive is a 3-player map, and the big defining feature, I think, well, I guess there's two defining features, is one, your natural has 2 entryways, and I've been comparing it to Sin Chpong Ryong, where you kind of have that back alleyway that you can kind of get into the natural from, which in TVT is going to be possible for Vulture harasses, and also possibly a back tank push. And the other thing that I've noticed that's come into play is that outside of your natural there is a raised ramp, and especially in a TVT, if your opponent gets a position on you and gets that raised ramp, not only are they shooting down onto your into the exit from your natural, but there's also parts of the middle ledges that they can actually tank parts of your base. So it's actually pretty significant if you lose that position. It can be really terrible, to put it simply. And that came kind of into play in the last game I casted on this map, which was Iris and someone I didn't expect to win. Frozian, that's it. Iris and Frozian. So, I don't know how long this game is going to take, but I'm hoping Firebat Hero loses quickly. I'm thinking 10-15 minutes it takes to Firebat Hero to lose. I mean, Firebat Hero, I hate Firebat Hero, but he actually is pretty good versus Terran. I'll give him that. He actually is like 60% versus Terran. This is really only truly great win rate. Versus Zerg, he's still like 54%, which is good for sure, but I don't think he's at all feared versus Zerg anymore. He really, at this point, has kind of become a versus Terran specialist. Sadly, kind of like Jangbi. Jangbi's pretty much a versus Terran specialist at this point, as well. I hate putting them in that same group, but Jangbi's not a Terran, so you know he's still got some extra props for being a great Protoss player. So Jangbi's still well ahead of Firebat Hero, and Jangbi's not a douche. That also helps too. And for those of you expecting this to be an extremely respectful and glorious commentary of respecting both of the players and honoring them correctly, it could very well degrade into me bashing on Firebat Hero if he fails, especially if he fails. So just warning right now that that's a possibility, and I may chuck verbal rice puddings into his face because, well, he kind of deserves it for throwing rice cakes, or I don't remember what he threw, but he threw stuff at Savior, and that's just unacceptable. So yeah, he deserves whatever gets sent his way. He's like I would compare him to like the Terrell Owens of football. You can do what you want if you're gonna be a jerk to everybody and you're gonna be disrespectful. Well, then you deserve all the criticism, all the insults that get thrown back your way. You deserve every single little bit of it, and probably more than what you get. You probably deserve more. I'm sure, in my opinion, Terrell Owens deserves more than he gets, and so does Firebat Hero. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. Both players going for identical builds here. If you were curious, throwing up one factory and then both of them taking 2 SCVs off of gas. So we're going to see quick expansion builds from both of them, and both of them also producing a well, let's see. We got Flash producing a couple Marines onto his ramp to stop the SCV scout. I'm not sure if Firebat Hero did. I suspect he did. yeah, he's produced a couple Marines as well. So neither player's really going to get much of a scout in. And Flash is actually going to go, or I'm sorry, Firebat Hero is actually going for a 2-factory push, and Firebat Hero lifting his factory and then building the machine shop because apparently it's better that way. But yeah, Flash is going to try and get a scout in here. You're going to see the 2 Marines, and he's going to be forced to withdraw. And I want to see what Flash has gone for. So Flash is going to go for the quick command center, and Firebat Hero, I'm surprised he took the SCVs. I'm surprised he's not going for a quick expansion. He's going to be going for a quick push, and if Flash can hold it off, if Flash can hold off the 2-factory push effectively and not lose, especially not lose control of his natural for too long, not lose that command center, he could end up in a really good position. Of course, with if Firebat Hero is successful and does significant damage, it will be very difficult to impossible for Flash to come back. So that's kind of the risk that these 2 players that Firebat Hero is going for. If successful, of course, he'll have a huge lead, and if unsuccessful, he'll have he will be hugely far behind. And I'm sure he knows that, and that's kind of what the build is. That's what the build results in. It looks like Flash is also throwing up his second factory as well. A couple of vultures are already produced for Firebat Hero, and I believe that was probably Mines, maybe Speed that was researching. Actually throwing up a command center as well. So we went for 2 factories into command center. That's kind of odd to me. I would have expected it to be the other way, the way that Flash did, a 1-factory command center and then the 2nd factory, but looks like he's going to try and get a little bit more military out on the field, maybe try and get a little bit of a push going, but I don't think he's going to have too much success here. A tank has been produced by Flash, so those vultures are not going to be highly effective. Possibly if they can get a sneak by, they might be able to get an SCV kill or 2, but it's not going to be too much, and Flash's SCV is killed while trying to scout. I believe he got killed before seeing that command center going up. And Flash has research speed, so that first upgrade was for speed, and the second one is probably going to be for mines. He's going to try and get some map control with these vultures. I'm going to try and probably mine Flash in and try and get an advantage that way. And we also saw Flash throwing up an armory, so he's going to do his normal thing, just going to turtle up. He's going to play Flash style, turtle up, get his upgrades going, and when he gets to whatever point he wants to, whether it's 110 or some other point, whenever he's in the mood, whenever he senses that he's got an advantage or he's just in a good position, he's going to push out. Actually, we're going to see a little push out from Flash immediately here, going to try and clear away his ramp. I don't know if this is really going to be an assault push or if this is going to be just clearing his ramp. And it looks like he sees these vultures, and a couple of these vultures might actually get through. They might actually get a run by, and Flash pulling his SCVs off. And I think they're going to be able to block these vultures from getting up. And I believe that Flash has enough units as well to kill these mines before they do anything. So those mines do absolutely nothing. Flash microing very, very well here. Absolutely losing virtually nothing to this attack. I believe Flash lost maybe a Marine. Flash, great play by Flash. Even though he got caught, kind of, and those Firebat Hero vultures kind of got past his forces. It didn't matter. He was able to defend against all of it, and nothing really happened. And gotta be careful there, Flash. There's a lot of them. Flash, there's mines, and Flash doing a good job of clearing away these mines. And he's also produced a couple of Glaives. So even if Firebat Hero had gone Wraith, it's like Flash is just like, you can do whatever you want. This is what I'm gonna do. You can choose your build. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna beat you because I'm going to come up with a hybrid force here. And it's going to beat whatever you pull out, because we also saw him putting up an academy. So even if there were a 2-port Wraith rush coming, that academy is going to be up approximately on time to deal with those Wraiths. So Flash is going with an I will deal with everything and push build, and Firebat Hero is already kind of lost control of this game. I assume that's got to be Siege that's being researched right now. Firebat here splitting up his tanks a little bit. He should siege them up as soon as he can, but he's got to wait for that siege tech. And I don't know if Flash has it completed. I assume he has it completed. We'll see soon. He hasn't produced any vultures, so I can't expect him to have produced any vulture upgrades quite yet. Okay, there's the vulture. So maybe he has vulture speed, it looks like. But it does look like he has siege mode. And there's Flash's Firebat Hero siege mode as well. Firebat Hero loses a couple tanks. Flash has lost a couple tanks. Vulture's coming in for Flash. Flash is going to be able to kill. 3 tanks are dead for both players. And it looks like both players are going to lose 3 tanks. But Flash is actually going to lose his entire force. And Firebat Hero is going to left with a couple siege tanks along with a Vulture and a Marine. Not a significant force. Certainly not enough to really push his advantage or anything. And Flash is actually getting a couple more upgrades. So that's going to be Mines and Goliath range already, maybe. I think he